It's practice. The show.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday, pitch practice.
The show.
The show. Welcome back, everybody. Give us a hashtag where you're watching from down in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to see your comments. Welcome back to Pitch Practice, the show where we break down sales strategies, $1,000,000 offers, and everything in between. I am Mark, the guy behind the Mental Marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101. I teach the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff.
And I'm Brandon, BKXX Enterprises, your chief business strategist and the guy with one too many Alex Hormozi quotes on my vision board right now.
Yeah, you and half of Instagram. Awesome. But Alex Hormozi, that is going to be a topic of tonight's show. So we're not just quoting Hormozi, but we're cracking open a leaked chapter. Is this a leaked chapter?
It's
Brandon,
leaked. He gave it away.
How did
Gave it
how
away
did
for
we even
free.
get this? How did we even get this secret chapter? Did anybody else out there know about this leaked chapter or this secret chapter from Alex Hormozi's upcoming book? Let us know down in the comments if you knew about it. Let us know. Tell us about this, Brandon, because you were the one who actually told me about this.
I did. Yeah. So it just dropped, I don't know, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. And, if you're following Hormozi, his ads are giving away like a free, I don't know, what do you want to call it? A free workbook, so to speak, depending on where you're at exactly in your business, 0 to 100, 100 to a million, million to 2, et cetera, et cetera. And it's kind of like his framework to scale businesses, but he's only giving you a certain section of that framework depending on exactly where you're at. And so I obviously opted in to get that section of the framework. And then on the coaching page or whatever, like the video page, the training page, he had a link to sign up to get the secret chapter. So again, if you're a business owner, coach, consultant, heck, if you just sell poop scooping services for people that own dogs, you got to get it. Go to acquisition.com. I'm sure you'll end up falling into his funnel and finding out how to get the book. I don't remember where the link is. If I do find it, I'll probably just put it in the comments on Facebook after the show is done, if I can find that link again.
All right. So I'd say let's give a little bit of context surrounding Hormozi and the books that he has written, right?
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, if you haven't heard of him, living under a rock, he has the two that are out now: $100 million offers, which was the first book, and then $100 million leads, which is the second book. And the thought is the last book's gonna be green, $100 million sales. Is the thought of what the title is gonna be, but he hasn't released the title yet.
Okay. No, he hasn't. Hey, I don't want to interrupt. Sorry, but we don't see the comments coming through, but I see the comments. Happy World Autism Day, Elisa. Thanks for commenting down there. And she says that I see you're wearing blue, Brandon, in celebration. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Is that why you're wearing blue today?
No, I had no idea. Apologize in advance, but happy World Autism Day. And I'm here to support any good cause that's out there to help those individuals.
All right. And I see the comments coming in. She's excited to hear more about this book, and I am too. Yeah. So, I can remember his first book was the 100 million offers, right? And
Yep.
I think I think at one point we actually did we go through that book in one of our episodes of Pitch Practice the show?
We I don't think we ever did a show on it, but we did go through it in the first iteration of what pitch practice was, where we discussed it on our morning calls at 7 a.m. And I think we probably spent 2 or 3 months on it, just because it's a pretty in-depth book with the different chapters there. But it was definitely a good read. It's on the shelf. I got it on audio, so I pop that on every once in a while as well, just to get reminded and try to figure out what my offers are going to be and grow my business.
Yeah. If you ask me, I kind of think he's following behind Russell Brunson's Russell Brunson's trilogy secrets,
Hmm.
because Russell Brunson, the first book, well, he released the book first, .com secrets, and that's about structure of funnels. And
Hmm.
then expert secrets was next, was really how to communicate within your funnels. And then last book, Traffic Secrets, was about how to bring in leads. And I think his 100 million offers was probably more about communication and how to structure your offers and how to make, remember, grand slam offers.
Right.
And then his 100 million leads was really how to actually get leads and how to what is he talks about the different ways of getting traffic to
Yep. The core four.
the core four. And this next book, it's what is this next book about? Tell us.
Next book's
Give
gonna.
us uh
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be about how he was able to sell the leads uh, that he brought in, and the crazy thing about it is that he gave everything away for free for the most part.
yes.
It did end up biting him in the butt later on down the road, but after flying around all over the country and using his own money to run the ads to bring these people into these gyms to then sell them and collect all the upfront costs. I mean, what better way for a gym owner to get new clients than to have somebody come in, sell everybody? Sure, they may lose a first month's worth of revenue from a new client, but they have a new client for at least another 11 months to collect from, right? And you know how many times people go to the gym after they sign up, right? It's hardly ever.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. Well, that's how we're gonna get into the meat of this secret chapter. And here's the thing: if you do not have a copy, make sure that you check the comments for the link to get the a copy of the secret chapter. It's only 24 pages long. It's a 24 page long, and it's start off with the part. Let's start off with the part that blew my mind, Brandon.
Okay.
And that
What?
is, yeah, this blew my mind. And I'm gonna put this up here on the screen here, and it's just gonna give us a little bit of information about this chapter. It's called The Power of Free. So, so Hormozi made his first million not by charging high prices, but by doing it all for free. And he talks about his origin story in the book, in this secret chapter, about how a free offer built an empire. And his first taste of demand wasn't from ads or funnels, it was from that conference speech that he made, followed by the mobbing crowds. And at the time, he'd fly out, run your gyms, and do the sales himself, front the ad money, and only keep what he sold. And gym owners paid nothing up front. And that's what turned into his first $1 million model. That really blew my mind. That just proved that free isn't just nice. It's basically was a growth accelerator.
Yeah, and following uh the mantra of give, 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 right? Is from Cardone. Hormozi was taking that. He learned the whole sales pitch thing just from doing it over and over again. And that's what made him the GOAT, so to speak, in the gym world. And that free offer created massive demand. He was a nobody until he gave that speech at the conference. And he couldn't even take a pee afterwards, right? So obviously,
That was
obviously,
funny.
obviously, he had something, right? And it wasn't until Russell, knocked him over the head and said, he was doing flying around the country was, a level 1 vehicle, right? He needed to get into a level 10 vehicle, and that was to actually teach the deal, even though he didn't want to teach it. He even said it in the chapter here, like pushing people away. It was like, this is not what I do. I run gyms. I don't teach how to do this. Um, I'll do it for you, but I'm not going to teach you, right? And I find that kind of interesting in the
Mm,
fact the thing that he didn't want to do the most was exactly what he needed to do. And I
mm,
kind of get that
mm.
feeling from time to time as well. It's like the thing that I hate and loathe to do, don't want to do it, is the exact thing that must be done for it to work.
Isn't that how it goes mostly? It's like you have to swallow that pill. It's always the pill that you have to swallow, but that's what's really going to get you to the next step.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So what did you think about that too? About him flying around the country in that little section there, in that little part of the secret chapter.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have been able to fly around the country and rack up the miles and then be able to go wherever I wanted to. But the downfall to that of always being on the road is, what kind of real life is that? You're always out selling. And again, if you know his history, after he did it for a while, I think he sold like 33 gyms, and then after that, like gym owners got wise to the scheme, I guess, if you want to call it a scheme, to where they would tell everybody that signed up was like, "Hey, cancel, refund, and you can sign up at half the cost or whatever through me." And that broke his business model. So free's great, but you got to protect yourself on the back end when it comes to those kind of tactics.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just another thing before we get to the second point in the book, because
Yep,
he referenced in that chapter, he called it the penny gap, and it's the massive difference in conversion between a product that's 1 cent versus zero. He says that free gets attention, it builds demand, and it gives you the raw material for testimonial and referrals fast. That makes so much sense. But in his words, he said, those who give the most get the most. So if you're listening right now thinking, how do I get my first few clients? Take a note. Start with value. Offer so much for free that they would feel dumb saying no.
100%. Give, give, give. That's my mantra. Because what you put out in the universe, you get back 100-fold.
Absolutely. Now, contrast that with what most entrepreneurs do. They come out the gate trying to sell $5,000 packages with no proof, no testimonials, and no audience. That's where he talks about his second step, that how he built his $1 million offer is premium offers come later. Premium
Absolutely.
offers come later.
Absolutely. And you know what? I saw a Threads post recently, and I don't know who made it. I didn't catch the name, but it caught my attention because Hormozi was part of the thread as far as being mentioned in it. Said Hormozi says start with service. Gary Vee says start with service. Brunson says start with service. I think they even mention either Cardone or the chick that buys businesses. I can't even think of her name right now off the top of my head. And then it kind of makes fun of new entrepreneurs saying I'm going to create a course instead of starting with a service. and try to sell it for like $5,000 when you don't have the experience on the back end and that worth to say, I'm the expert without actually doing the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I get it. And Yeah, I absolutely. Coming out with a high dollar offer it won't work. And it definitely won't work if you haven't proven your value yet. And when you finally do go premium, that's when the math can flip. And this is once your reputation is built, you shift to premium. Now, Hormozy compared his profit from a $50 profit versus $9,500 profit per sale, and how premium lets you work less while earning more. And you go from chasing 190 small ticket clients or small customers to closing just 9 people and making 10x the money. Isn't that isn't that the dream really? Instead
That
of
that
chasing a
absolutely.
thousand of small tickets, just a few. And we all know how premium buyers are just easier and better to deal with.
Absolutely. It's definitely less stress. With the fewer clients, you get higher margins, and you know, if you play the game right and you have the best offer, you're gonna get the best outcomes for your clients, and everybody's gonna want to work for you. I mean, because everybody wants in the marketplace, they want luxury, they want the value and things like that. And I know from the being in the car business, even when I was selling cars, I was selling Fords, right? So they weren't
Hmm.
the quote unquote most luxurious. But when I was shopping for my cars myself, I always shopped luxury because like I wanted,
Mm.
the premium leather, the premium sound system, and all the nice whiz bang gadgets that don't, really mean anything. But even then, like people want premium. They don't want cut rate bottom of barrel when they're looking for a particular service or an item that would potentially elevate their status amongst other people.
Yeah, and I think the key is not to start off at the premium, because you haven't built the goodwill, you haven't built the reputation, you don't
Mhm.
have the testimonials. But I think tell us what that is when he put together this little chart that went from uh, how he said don't sell premium until you've proven value.
Yeah, I mean, and just to kind of reiterate that, you got to have those testimonials on the back end that state, yes, you are the guy that's going to get the exact result that your future clients are going to be looking for. So you can't come out of the gate again charging $4 or $5,000 for a package that one isn't battle tested and proven to work, and two, there's no history on it. People aren't ready to buy at the exact moment that you're trying to sell, right? As we've stated before, only 1 to 2% of the market is ready to buy. The other 98 are doing research. And if you hit them with an offer and you can't close them right there on the spot, and you're trying to follow up with them and they're doing the research on the back end and they can't see anything related to that offer, they're never, ever, ever going to buy. I liken it to, again, I'm taking it back to the car business. Uh, Even when you're buying a car, right? The first car
Mhm.
out of the gate, the first car out of the gate isn't going to be a uh, platinum expedition at $95,000, unless you are a trust fund baby and you got the cash to do it. First time car buyers, back when they actually sold cars for at Ford, like you're driving out of there with a Fiesta or a Focus, maybe a higher trim level one that might have some leather or pleather seats in it to make you feel good, and a nice sound system, and a nice sound system, and that's how you have to start your business off. Like your business when you start off isn't the platinum expedition. It is the maybe S model Fiesta. Maybe if you got some money invested in it and are really good at selling, you could go with a titanium Focus that has leather in it. But out the gate,
Titanium.
titanium. Like that was top line focus there. That was my first car. Not my first car, but But in any case, that's kind of where you got to start. And it might suck. It's going to be a grind in the beginning, but once you start getting those wheels turning and you build up the equity in your business, you can continue to trade up to better and better clients that are going to be paying higher, and you get the higher margins and better clout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The catchphrase on this and this, this, what do you want to call it? This progression of offers is that premium doesn't work if you haven't proven your value yet. That's basically the message there. Now, what if you can't do free and you're starting out? Maybe you're in a regulated industry or just not ready to give away the whole farm. Uh, that's when he
Yeah, that's
talks
when
about
discount.
discount offers, which is what he considers is the middle ground. Now, the middle ground is maybe you're in a regulated industry or just not ready to give away the whole farm. It's when free isn't allowed, but it does. The discounted middle ground allows you to it helps you build trust while letting you collect contacts and the audience up front. uh what Give us some examples of how you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, for the regulated industries, it can be tough. Real estate, insurance, etc. Like you really can't give anything away for free, especially on the insurance side. That
Yeah.
would, entice people to buy a policy from you, right?
Mhm.
But if you're not in there, good. The only thing you can really give away for free on that end would be maybe a guide, like a guide on how to buy insurance, right? You can give that away for free. That wouldn't be a problem. Um, a free consult, a free look of your insurance policy to kind of guide you along the way, etc. But in going with a discount, Hormozi set it up to where, and I remember how he structured his offers before. So, like, let's say you got 100 people, right? The
Mhm.
initial offer is for the first 10, I'm going to do it 100% for free. The next 10, you're going to get a 90% discount. The next 10, you get an 80% discount. The next 10, you get a 70. And as you can tell where this is kind of going to where like the last half maybe get a 50% discount. And then anybody after that, they pay full rate. And so that gives you the time and opportunity to battle test your offer, get the results that you need, get the testimonies you need to be able to pay that full, to be able to collect that full rate from your customers after the 100, like at the 101st customer.
Yeah, yeah. But interesting because he doesn't talk about wimpy 10% offers, kind of offers though. He talks about deep discounts. What and I think his reasoning behind it is interesting too. Um, because he talks about the deep discounts that are going to spark action and get people in the door. And the goal isn't to make a bunch of money up front, but it's to qualify the leads, grab new leads, and reduce no shows for any of your appointments, and to set yourself up for the upsell.
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, you're giving away a consult instead of giving away a free consult. Maybe you charge a little bit, get the buying process going, get the customer ready and comfortable to spend more money with you down the road. That may tee up a $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 program. Because if you can get the first yes, you're going to get
Hmm.
all the other yeses down the road. I mean, how much money have we given to Russell after we gave him that first $100 for the one funnel away challenge?
You know what?
How many thousands of dollars have we already given Russell because we gave him $100 up front, or maybe
I,
even set the $7 deal with the free shipping
I'm
on one of his
telling you,
books, right?
I've
So
gone I've gone up and down the ladder.
yeah, 100%. So and if you're paying attention and doing the things, right, you should be able to turn that around and get other people to do the same things for you because you're already experienced in it and you trust and believe in the process. And that goes to the fundamentals of sales. Like if you can't buy the product yourself, and you be a user of the product, there's no way you're gonna be able to sell the product. So again, if you can't go through the system yourself, you can't buy that $10,000 package, you'll never be able to sell a $10,000 package. But again, that all comes down to the offer in general and how it is packaged up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Now, then excuse me. Uh you make yeah, that's such an important thing with the discount offers. I think when I look at discount offers and how I've used them in my business, I think discount offers are a way that I've got people in the door, and when they can actually get into your program, get some of your offers and get a taste of it, it lets you stack the value. That's one thing that I've found is give them more than they expect. Give them more than they expect, stack the value, and then they'll want to come back for more and ascend into your higher level products.
For sure. That's that's how it happens. And if you can't give it away for free, then it's probably not the right thing to be giving away, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. After he talked about after well, I'm telling you, it was a pretty short, it's a pretty quick read. If you it's 24 pages. You can read it in less than an hour. I'd say you can probably read it in 30 minutes. So just remember, we're talking about the secret chapter and Alex Hormozi's new book that is set to be released. Does he have a release date for it yet? Yes, set for it. Do you know?
I have not seen it. I'm gonna assume. I don't like assuming, but probably in the next couple months here, if he's already dropping this kind of stuff. And I'm curious to know if he's going to do the same thing he did with what was it
100 million leads. 100 million
leads,
leads.
where he
Yeah.
gave that like awesome uh, awesome webinar, and he did the stack and the close, and he gave it away for free anyway, and
Oh,
that was pretty neat. We didn't really give it away for free,
oh
but
yeah.
it was very cheap. I did end up buying the premium offer just so I can get the hat, which was kind of dumb, but I wanted the acquisition.com hat.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was still free-ish because you
Well,
have the whole thing online.
I think I would have to compliment him for the buzz that he created around that 100 million lead release, right? I
Yeah.
think I think he had not just an army of affiliates, he almost had the whole online community out there trying to get his book just so they could get a hat, right?
Yeah, and you had to buy 4 books to get the hat, which was kinda crazy. But, I mean, he ended up selling a lot of books, and that's the goal. The affiliate contest on it was pretty nice. I mean, there wasn't a monetary value behind it. So anybody that uh, pushed the book didn't get paid. At least I don't think they did. But what they did get was a call, a consultation call, to where they could ask pretty much any question to him and get help with his business that way. So I mean, I guess that's good. I like money better.
But I think that just having him on there it can equate into a lot of money. It can
Sure.
equate to it can equate to I think you can use it a lot of different ways. Hey, I think I saw an affiliate use it too, to get people to sign up through his link, and saying that, hey, if I win this affiliate contest, I'm gonna bring Alex Hormozi on, and you guys can come in and actually take part of it or listen in as we get these nuggets from Hormozi. So you could have actually potentially, kind of turned into leads, turned into contacts. Yeah, in a major way, in a major way. So wrapping up this secret chapter, this leaked chapter of his new book. One of my favorite lines from this last chapter was, "Your promotion is the wrapper, not the gift."
Yeah, I mean that's a good punchline there, and your offer's still your core product, right? But the ancillary offers that go around it, that's what's going to determine if someone's even going to open the box to get your core offer, right? And that's like the end of the value, the top of the value ladder, the end of the golden road, whatever you want to call it, right? If they don't take, as I mentioned before, they don't take the free, they're not going to buy the um, they're not going to buy the core.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Your promotion is the wrapper, not the gift. So, and talking about your promotion, yeah, and talking about uh, your promotion being the wrapper, not the gift. Um, I think he really talks about, what is promotion, and he, okay, so the examples here, let me just take a look here, hold on one second here. I'm just okay, giving away the farm. Okay, and about the wrapper, the promotion, in a conclusion, say, if if you're not getting enough response, you probably need to make your front end more appealing, and you need to give people who otherwise wouldn't respond a reason to do so. And when you enhance your grand slam offer with a free or discount front end, is the fastest way to do that. And that's whether you're just figuring out your first way to get leads, or whether adding an additional area to generate leads. And wrapping that up is your promotion, but your promotion is not actually your offer. It's just the way that you're getting people to you, the way that you're acquiring people. That's
Right.
that's what's that's what was really just kind of blew my mind there.
Yeah, and if you want to equate that promotion to, again, if you've heard of this term, the dramatic demonstration. I mean, even during that demonstration, you're giving away the value up front, teaching them something to then giving them the solution on the back end to implement what you just taught them in the front end. There's so much psychology behind it. It's crazy. And if you really sit down and think of it, it'll really warp the mind there and make you angry at, at at the manipulation that kind of goes on in selling, and it's, I'm gonna call it the dark side of selling. I mean, but selling is manipulation. You're manipulating people to do something that you want them to do, right? But there's
Mhm.
ethical ways of doing it, and there's unethical ways of doing it, of course. So uh, we hope that you all pitch ethically, as we try to ourselves.
Absolutely. Ethically, yeah. If it is yeah. I, yeah, ethically is the way to go. It was interesting because when you talk about ethically, that was one of the things that I stood there in Tanner Chittister's morning breakfast club, and there was a guy there really talking about how to ethically approach, your advertisement advertising or your promotional or marketing, especially when you see so many other people out there that are approaching it unethically and making all these claims. I think that's where the ethical responsibility comes in, is the claims that some people make. And I was listening intently to what advice that Tanner Chittister gave. Were you there when that one guy? Were you in there at the time? Because I remember you were sitting behind me, but I looked back and you were gone.
That might have been happening after the fact. Coffee was starting to kick in that morning, so I had to kind of book it out of there. Felt kind of bad, and I felt a little rude, but I didn't want to have to pay the cleanup on his hotel room sheets. So,
That's what it was. I was wondering because I looked back and you were gone.
yeah. So, any case, no, it was a good event. I probably missed that part of it. I don't know if I got too much out of the event. I don't even remember that much of it just because that hour went by so quickly. But it was just good to be in a room, and some of the nuggets may end up floating up to the surface here later. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't speak to that one.
Yes, and I think the synopsis of this secret chapter is free, whether it's free, discount, or premium. They're just ways to deliver your grand slam offer, but you still have to be great and you still have to solve big problems.
Big problems equals big paychecks.
Yes. And premium offers are powerful. Hormozi says that premium offers are powerful. They can act as a standalone offer that will make you money. You don't really need anything else. And if you have clients coming in already, using this new structure that he teaches, which is, start with free. It'll allow you to 3 to 5x your prices without charging I'm sorry, 3 to 5x your prices without changing your services. And excuse me, and 100 million offers. He really broke that down. But if you're just starting out, I would suggest you grab a copy of that book, or if your volume isn't high enough or your cost to acquire a customer is higher than you can bear, then you will likely want to wrap your premium offer with a free or a discount wrapper. That's what he calls it, as if you're just experiencing these bottlenecks, then wrap it with a free or discount wrapper. Not a rapper as in Kanye West, but a wrapper as in chocolate wrapper. It's a
Yeah,
gold bar.
like a gift wrap, man. You got a gift wrap. Put
Like,
that nice wrapping paper on it.
yeah, like a wrap, like a nice. I love the way that one of my favorite candies, Ferrero Rocher, is
Yeah.
wrapped. You know
Yeah.
Ferrero Rochers?
I always thought that was like rich people candy, and then you can go to Costco and get like a case of them for like $20. It's like
You thought they were rich people candy?
if you look at the commercials, man, it's like a premium chocolate candy, right? How they put themselves into the market. It's like I thought only rich people could buy those. And I go to
It's the
Costco and
gold.
they're like $20.
Oh man, they sell like the little 4 packs, the gold wrappers. Uh, they are delicious. I love them.
They are good. I can slam a tray easy. Won't feel good after the fact, but I can definitely slam one.
Awesome. We are so glad to see my good friend Bobito. What's up, Bobito? What's up? Hey, Bobito and I were almost front row at a basketball game last night.
Okay.
Yes, we uh yes, we were almost front row. We were pretty close there. We watched a very competitive game until the last 3 minutes. and which time the Spurs, I think they lost that one. I don't know how they lost it, but they were ahead most of the game. But good times. Thanks for tuning in, Babito. We'll see you in a couple of days. Appreciate it. Showing the love and support. Oh
Nice.
man. Oh, I just noticed that the Chiron going across the bottom was not changed.
Oh well, it happens.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. So good talk. Anything that you feel we've missed, Brandon?
No, I think we pretty much hit all the points. If you're looking for the secret chapter, look, I'll do my best to find it and put it in the comments of my live Facebook video here. If not, just go to acquisition.com and I'm sure you'll end up running into it because he's going to serve you an ad after the fact over on Facebook or LinkedIn or somewhere. And if you just get into that funnel, you'll eventually get that book. If you don't want to go through all that, I mean, I'm really not authorized to give it out or give it away, but maybe we can figure something out. I just don't want to get sued by acquisition.com for giving away their stuff
Yeah.
unauthorized.
Yeah, I know. I had to run through my emails to see where it came from. But yeah, I was gonna badger you last week. Give me a copy. Give me a copy. I want to see it. Yeah, really quick read though. I'm a I think I've become a fan of Alex Hormozi. Um, yeah, he's quite the character, I would say. And when you read this, it just strikes you up front from the very first pages when he talks about how he started off giving out free. He started his journey with the free offers, but then it's kind of you remember some of the stories that he told from his other books too, and then he talks about standing up at that room. And I think, what was going through my mind when he's telling that story about standing up and doing the presentation? Bless you. Funnel
What's
Hacking
that?
Live. That he
Yeah.
was at Funnel Hacking Live. Was that going through your mind too?
Yeah, but I don't think it was funnel hacking live. I think it was traffic and conversions that he was possibly speaking at, or some other smaller conference, maybe for gym owners itself, to where he kind of gave that speech, or it might even been that $25,000 mastermind that he bought into and he talked about in his first book. But yeah, I mean, he was in a spot to be able to speak on stage, selling. We weren't quite selling one to many, but still speaking one to many. And from there, he took off like a rocket. And so that's the power of being able to speak. That's the power of being able to get in front of somebody, whether it's digitally like we're doing here or in person up on a stage, to tell your story. Your I can't even think of the name of what it's actually called, but it's like your core speech, right? Your signature talk, that's what it's called. So if you have a signature talk, which he did, and
Hmm.
that's what he gave, he was able to get clients and customers. And if you can develop that, you know, there's no limit to what income you can make. I mean, Mark and I here, we come on, we don't really have a quote unquote signature talk every time, but we have our core things that we discuss, as well as the topic of the week. And you just do that consistently every week. The leads will start coming out of the woodwork.
Yes. Please welcome to the stage Brandon and Mark. Woo!
Woo!
Cool. Great talk today. Great conversation. If you plan to get the book, let us know down in the comments. If you've read the book, let us know down in the comments. We'll come back and read those and give you a thumbs up, a hearts, and thanks for engaging and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Pitch Practice,
The
the
show.
show. And that's it. If nothing else, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.